Barry and Batya Siegel are amazing pioneers who live in Israel. They're Jewish believers in Yeshua. Israel was a nation established by God himself. Now, the two of you met in Israel and married. Today, both of you are dedicated to the physical and spiritual restoration of Israel. When the glory comes, there will be a tsunami wave of miracles, signs, wonders. Multitudes, I say millions, will experience the Messiah of Israel, not only in Israel, but worldwide. We are more than ready to show the world what God is doing on METV, Middle East TV, our television network that is in every television-equipped home in Israel and the entire Middle East. I believe that the devil has an idea of this glory that's coming. He's desperately trying to speed up end-time events to try and circumvent the glory outpouring that's about ready to hit. Some of the greatest evangelists and fivefold ministers will come out of Israel. I mean, greater than Paul. And they will be flames of fire to the Gentiles. But there's a challenge. The greatest challenge that Israel has right now is that radical Islam, influenced and funded by Iran, have stored up thousands of bombs and missiles ready to launch against Israel from the north and the south. Over 4,000 rockets and missiles have been launched against Israel so far this year. Just in Lebanon alone, it's estimated that Hezbollah has 150,000 rockets stored up. Barry?
You know, Sid, one of the things that Israel has been blessed with an invention is the Iron Dome anti-missile interception system. They cost over $200 million, I heard, and about $50,000 to $60,000 a rocket to intercept an incoming rocket. The problem is that they can only handle so many incoming rockets at one time. So sometimes the enemy's rockets or missiles get through the system, and that's literally a danger from the explosives and the shrapnel and the fallout that comes upon the population. And that's why Israel needs more protection, more shelter, more bomb shelters, places of safety to protect our people.
Never before have Israelis faced the number of rockets and missiles that Hamas and Hezbollah could be firing at Israel from both the north and the south simultaneously.
There is literally a need right now near playgrounds, near shopping centers, near public areas to have these bomb shelters placed along the northern and southern regions of Israel, because people only have like 15 to 25 seconds to run and get safety in one of these shelters.
This is a norm here for us. You have to understand the spiritual strain on the people here is so great, beyond imagination. We need to give them more comfort. We need to give them more protection, because we can do it for them, because God made it possible for us. So we want to be a light to the people of Israel. We want to be a blessing at this time.
This is why God has led us to partner with Barry and Batya to build these desperately needed IDF-approved bomb shelters. Barry?
These bomb shelters are manufactured to withstand these missile attacks. When the siren sounds, there are just few moments to find a shelter. Once the people enter and the door is secured, women, men, and children, they're safe.
On the outside of every bomb shelter is a sign reading, "Donated with love for the safety of the people of Israel" by METV. Everyone who enters these shelters will know that it is Jewish and Gentile believers in the Messiah who have helped build the very shelter that is saving their lives. And many will watch the brand new TV programs we're producing for METV, which will be pointing the Jewish people to the one who saves lives for all of eternity, Yeshua. We are raising the funds to build 700 bomb shelters approved by the Israeli Defense Forces. I'm reminded of the quote of Oskar Schindler. You've seen the movie Schindler's List. I could have got more. I could have got more. I don't know if I could have got more. Oskar Schindler said, I didn't do enough. Oskar did what one man could do. A superhuman feat. But let's show Israel what the mishpacha, the family of God, all of us together can do. I call what we're doing double chai. Chai is a Hebrew word, and it means life. That's where we get the toast l'chaim, to life. Unlike English, every Hebrew letter means a word and a number. Chai also means the number 18. So why double chai, double life? The bomb shelter saves Jewish people's lives physically, but METV saves lives for eternity. Double life, double chai. At Jewish weddings, bar mitzvahs, when making honorary donations, we Jewish people often give gifts of money in multiples of 18, symbolically giving the recipient the gift of life. So make a gift to build a bomb shelter in Israel and fund our METV television station in Israel in multiples of 18. And bless Israel with double chai, double life. As God promised Abraham, those who bless Israel will be blessed. What have you been praying for God to do in your life? Whatever it is, get ready to receive the promise that God gives from being a blessing to Israel.
What if you only had 15 seconds to find a safe place to hide?
The greatest challenge that Israel has right now is that radical Islam, influenced and funded by Iran, have stored up thousands of bombs and missiles ready to launch against Israel from the north and the south. Over 4,000 rockets and missiles have been launched against Israel so far this year.
What if a loud siren rang out in your neighborhood warning you that thousands of missiles had been launched? This threat is one that innocent Israeli citizens have to face every day. Imagine you or your children being alone near a school, park, playground, a shopping center, or by older buildings that do not have a bomb shelter. Israeli citizens only have 15 seconds to find a safe place to hide.
People only have like 15 to 25 seconds to run and get safety. I personally witnessed about 120 rockets being shot from the Gaza Strip overhead in the sky, heading towards the coastal region and Tel Aviv. 7 rockets were shot towards the western hills of Jerusalem, landed and hit in an area was just across the highway from where we live.
With ministry partners like you, we have already started funding the building of these mobile bomb shelters. Each shelter can hold up to 15 people. These special design cement units are approved by the Israeli Homeland Security and the Israeli Defense Ministry.
On the outside of every bomb shelter is a sign reading, "Donated with love for the safety of the people of Israel" by METV. Everyone who enters these shelters will know that it is Jewish and Gentile believers in the Messiah who have helped build the very shelter that is saving their lives. And many will watch the brand new TV programs we're producing for METV, pointing the Jewish people to the one who saves lives for all of eternity.
God asks us not only to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, but God also promised that those who bless Israel shall be blessed. What have you been praying for God to do in your life? Whatever it is, get ready to receive the promise that comes from being a blessing to Israel. Your double high gift of $18 or $180 or $1,800 will go towards these bomb shelters in Israel and Jewish evangelism. You may also feel God is directing you to give a double high gift of $18,000.
I call what we're doing double high. That's where we get the toast l'chaim, to life. So why double high? We Jewish people often give gifts of money in multiples of 18, symbolically giving the recipient the gift of life.
Your double high gift of $18 or $180 or $1,800 will go towards the bomb shelters in Israel and Jewish evangelism. And please also consider now your double high gift of $18,000. You can make a difference. How? By helping Sid Roth build and install these heavy-duty mobile bomb shelters. Call or you can send your check to Sid Roth. It's supernatural. P.O. Box 39222, Charlotte, North Carolina 28278. Please specify this as your double high offering for the Shelter Initiative. Or log on to sidroth.org. Call or write today.
בעיר אופקים יש לנו פער של מיגון. רוב התושבים בשכונות הישנות בעיקר אין להם בכלל מקלט או ממ"ד. לכן אנחנו צריכים מיגוניות שיתנו להם מענה בשעת מלחמה או בשעת צבע אדום. לפני חצי שנה התנהל פה מבצע שומר חומות. זה היה מלחמה של בערך חודש. היו לנו כ-150 שיגורים לעיר אופקים.
למה שמים את זה פה? בשביל לתת מענה של ביטחון לכל החבר'ה שיהיו פה מתי שהם, חבר'ה הצעירים, הילדים, הנשים, שהם באים לטייל באגם הנפלא הזה.
אנחנו מודים לעמותת חזון לישראל שנתנה פה 3 מיגוניות לפארק האגם. זה פארק שבעצם נותן מענה לכל תושבי נתיבות והסביבה. יש פה בערך 1,000-1,200 מבקרים ביום.
אנחנו מורידים את השישית, ואחרי זה אנחנו הולכים להוריד עוד 3 מיגוניות, ובזה סיימנו את הסיפור. החשיבות של הפעולה הזאת היא פשוט למגן, לפי ההנחיות של פיקוד העורף, את כל השטח, שמה שהם מנחים אותנו בהתאם להנחיות.
בשמי, בשם מושב גבעולים, בשם שדות נגב, אנחנו מודים לכם, תודה רבה רבה על הכל. כשיש לנו הזעקות פה, מי שיש לו ממ"ד, אז הוא בממ"ד. לפעמים הילדים משחקים בחוץ, יש מיגוניות שקיבלנו מכם. אז הילדים רצים למיגוניות, וזה מהלך החיים. יש הזעקות, נכנסים למיגון.
לכל אורך הדרך הילדים הולכים לבית ספר, והילד, הסטודנט שחי פה, גם החברים שמסתובבים, יכולים, יש צבע אדום, זה 15 שניות, זה מהיר מאוד. יכולים להיכנס למיגונית ולהיות במקום בטוח ומאובטח. תודה רבה לחזון לישראל ולמידל איסט טלוויז'ן על התרומה של המיגונית לגבים.
ואני רוצה להגיד פה לתורמים על הדבר הזה, באמת המון תודה. הדבר הזה רק עוזר לנו. הדבר הזה חשוב ביותר, כן? כמו שאתם מבינים, האויב לא הולך הביתה. האויב נמצא פה ברצועה, מחכה, מתכונן, מתאמן, והלוואי ותעזרו לנו בדברים האלה.
השכונה הזאת זו שכונה חדשה שיש פה 8 משפחות, שבכל משפחה יש מינימום 3 ילדים. הילדים האלה מסתובבים פה ומשחקים, ויש חשיבות מאוד גבוהה שהם יוכלו לשחק בחוץ בביטחון, בידיעה שיש לידם מיגונית, שבמידה ונשמעת אזעקה, הם יכולים ישר לרוץ למיגונית. גם חזון לישראל וגם מידל איסט טלוויז'ן עושים מחווה גדולה לתושבי נירם ברגע שהם תורמים לנו מיגוניות. מבחינתנו זה מציל חיים.
מיגונית קודם כל, חייבים לציין שמיגונית קודם כל זה ביטחון. זה ביטחון לא רק לילדים, גם למבוגרים. מיגונית במקום שכרגע הולכים למקם אותה, זה דבר מאוד חיובי. יש לנו פה בסביבה, במרחק הליכה או במרחק ריצה, תלוי איך אתה רוצה לקבל את זה, כל הבתי ילדים. יש לנו את הספרייה, יש לנו פה 2 בתי מדרש של המכינה קדם צבאית שהם הגיעו השנה. שהיא מורכבת מ-60 חניכים.
אנחנו מרגישים הרבה יותר בטוח שיש לנו פה את המיגוניות החדשות ששומרות עלינו ודואגות לנו.